frustrated bring it out. But yeah, let's just Hello chicas and chicos, welcome to my channel. I am Jamie, and in today's video we're gonna be making a little DIY. So the other day we were cleaning around and I came across my old guitar that was broken. So I had put it aside in storage because I originally wanted to recycle it and do something with it. I still don't know yet how it's gonna look, how it's gonna turn out, and I'm planning to make either a little bookshelf or a jewelry cabinet, like little cabinet out of it. So let's get started. Okay, so right here I have the guitar that we're gonna be using. So you can see it still looks okay, but it's really starting to get rusty. Even the price is in better condition. You can see here, if you look at the bottom, it's actually already starting to break apart. It's really soft in here. So I'm gonna have to think of a way, I don't know, try and save this. So hopefully this project turns out okay.
You can see the back part had already had some water damage in it, and my original plan was to just remove this top part right here and then put some hinges on it and then have it like a cabinet opening mechanism. But as you can see, it didn't go as planned because that middle part that I'm removing right now, it was too soft and fragile that I think it would just not hold up well over time, and it would not make the project look sturdy and durable. So I just ended up removing it all, and it was very soft. I just kept on hoping for the best because I still wasn't sure what I was gonna do. After removing the middle part, I started sanding it.
Okay guys, I managed to take off the bottom half of the guitar.
I also removed the extra wiring and some other elements that the guitar had that we won't be needing, and it might get on the way of the design later on. So I removed that and I put some clay in some holes that it had. For this project, I will be using some small hooks to hang jewelry, some screws, a cutter, some wallpaper to cover up the guitar and make it more presentable, a pair of scissors and a cardboard puncher, glue stick, glue gun, compass, 2 small boxes, 1 paper roll. I will also use these recycled brushes, and lastly some styrofoam. I will begin by covering the guitar with the wallpaper. It already had guidelines in the back of it, so you can have a guide and it's easier to measure, so that's really helpful. I started from the bottom part, so it's easier and the wallpaper will look more flawless. In order to make this wallpaper be as neat and clean here in this curved area, I had to cut vertical lines into the excess wallpaper that I will be folding and have it neatly tucked in. Moving on to the second section, I simply cut one long piece and then cut it in 2 because I will be leaving out the middle part where there's some screws because it will be covered up later on. I like to use a box or any other object that helps me in marking the wallpaper like this, then use it as a guide before I start removing the bottom sticker like this. And just so you know, I sped up this clip right here so it looks like I'm working fast, but in real life I was working really slow and making sure I was taking my time and doing everything neatly. Now the top half of the guitar is a little bit more challenging because there's a lot of curves. So I decided to do this rectangular area first, then continue on to the other parts of the guitar. So my two assistants are having a meeting right now, a play meeting. They decided that playing is a top priority for them, that they don't get paid enough treats for this. Anyways, going back to work, so I'm covering up the top part where the arm is connected to the body, and as you can see, I keep on doing this technique where I cut the vertical lines on the extra paper and then fold it. This guitar had some nails sticking out in that area, so I put a bead from a broken bracelet that I had to cover up the nail. Now I will be getting the area of the circle, which is my favorite part. So I will be getting the diameter, then measuring the length and width of the square. Once I get out this square wallpaper, I will get the radius of the circle, which is the half of the diameter. And then I will be folding the paper into two, and I will get the center of the paper, and then I will be drawing the circle with the radius. So I simply put the compass in the center of the paper and draw the circle. I folded the paper in half and then cut the circle out, as you can see, and then it fit perfectly, so it's so satisfying for me. Like, I love this. Now I'm taking the recycled facial brush. I'm placing the hooks around it so it will look like a rotating mechanism. This is going to rotate later on. You will see how we will make it work. Just keep watching. And this is how it turned out, and very easy. And these are the other two. This was like a pumice stone, as you can see, so I just inserted them inside with a little bit of hot glue gun as well to secure it. And then this one was a sponge, but I removed it because I had used this sponge to paint something and it had an ugly color in it, so I removed it. Here I already cut out two styrofoam with the same figure and shape of these areas in the guitar, so it fits perfectly, and I will be covering it up with this piece of cloth, then placing them in both areas like this, because this is where I will be hanging the earrings and rings. Then I also started adding the other boxes, like the black one, which I will put in the middle, and as well as the second box, which I will be placing where there were the screws in the guitar. So I had to open a hole in the middle of the box because it will only occupy one screw. Now I am marking where I will be placing the rotating holders. It was a little bit harder than I thought to open the holes because the box was very sturdy, so I had to go in with the scissors. Now I'm taking these screws and I will be gluing the head of it onto the brushes that we did earlier. So this is going to help us make the holders rotate. So these brushes that I'm using were actually part of a beauty device that I had, but I no longer have with me. It had 4 brushes for different functions, but I only left 3 of the brushes with me, which are these 3, the pumice sponge and the big body brush. So I'm just using these 3 for this project. Once all the screws are glued onto the brushes, it's time to put them onto the box and secure them with the nut. And I'm finally gluing the box onto the guitar, and of course, as you can see, it fits perfectly. I'm also putting hot glue onto the screw right there, and I will put another knot on top of it so that it's extra secured. Moving on, I have here my paper roll already covered in the wallpaper. I opened two holes in the middle of the paper roll, and I'll be placing this metallic thing like ring. I don't know what it's for, but I will be putting it through like this, and I will be pulling out the ends and putting that ping. I don't know what this is for. Like, comment down below what it's used for. I just found it here in the house, and I thought it would be perfect to give it more support if it gets heavy with the bracelets. And I will be putting a nail right here. I already did a hole onto where I'll be placing the nail, so I'm hot gluing it like that, and that is where I will be placing the bracelet holder like that. And of course, more hot glue so that it stays in place and doesn't go anywhere. And last minute, my mom gave me this idea to put a mirror here on the circle so that I can look in the mirror when I'm looking at my jewelry. So I just glued it on the front of the guitar like this, and of course I put hot glue on the bottom as well so that it prevents it from falling off. This is just an extra step that I took a measurement of the bottom of the box, and then I cut it out, and I will be covering it up with this drawer paper that you put on the bottom of the drawer. I don't know what it's called, but it's like foam. So I covered it up with that, and then I will be placing it on the bottom of the box of this one so that it will not scratch any shades or the jewelries, just to protect everything. I also used some nail polish to cover the rusted parts of the guitar because it looks ugly, and we want this to look like new. We want this to look like it came out of the mall. So I used a white nail polish as a base, and then I used a silver glittery color on top. And I gotta admit, I fell in love with that berry color of the Calvin Klein box earlier, so I felt inspired to use this color on these knots and give the guitar a bit more color and have it match. I did two coats for each nail polish, and this is how it turned out. I also made this from a shoelace. I just braided it.
So that is our DIY fully complete. I'm so glad how it turned out. I've wanted a mini jewelry cabinet for so long, and I've had this idea for ages also, so I'm so glad that I finally took the time to complete this. I will probably be moving it to another area sometime in the future, but for now I think I will leave it here. I hope you guys liked this DIY project. Let me know down in the comment section what you thought of the project. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like and Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching more of my videos, just click one over here, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!